at that, but yes, you can't be difficult. You have to just take no money until you earn it. So that's where I don't know. That's where I don't know if she can do that. I don't know. I mean, it's not against her. Bethenny can't do. I mean, even Bethenny didn't make any money on these podcasts in the beginning. She had to grow it into something. It's not even that big a thing, but it's doing well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Bethenny has some deal. You know, when you sell yourself to Spotify is when you get a deal. And by the way, Spotify lost a ton of money on all their podcast purchases.
I was going to say, basically, aside from Alex Cooper and Joe Rogan, they're getting rid of everybody, including, you know,
Kim Kardashian, apparently.
Kim Kardashian. Right. Is Michelle? I don't know if Michelle Obama's deal has been renewed or not.
I don't think so.
Okay, I know I keep saying this. I've got two last things, but you know, with Nene, oh God, what it just slipped my mind. Never mind. I was like, shit. I had one other thing to talk about.
How she's feeling sad.
That part was really rough. I just felt like, oh, I feel like she, you know, it's really sad. Like she's really missing Greg. And I feel like Greg was like the guider, you know, for the whole thing. I can't remember what I
mean, look, she would be great in American Horror Story. Why isn't Ryan Murphy calling her? It's like,
that's what I was going to ask you. And again, and this is why I will never, I'm done listening to Bethenny. It's insufferable. Why didn't Bethenny ask her the follow-up question? Okay. Because lots of times you can be blacklisted in an industry, right? I mean, look at Colin Kaepernick, Rose McGowan. But usually in another industry, people will bet on you, which is what Ryan Murphy did. Why didn't Bethenny ask her, why did Ryan Murphy stop working with you?
Right.
I mean, you know, is it as simple as just Ryan Murphy had her in mind for 2 roles and then you're done? I mean, that happens a lot in Hollywood.
And did Bethenny ask her a question like, do you think you're blacklisted in Hollywood? Do you think you can't work as an actress? These would be my questions.
Well, she sort of did, but they didn't elaborate in what industries. I guess they just said television. So I guess that's implying Ryan Murphy. But
I mean, like, Ryan Murphy is although this thing just came out about him like kind of blowing off and Angelica Ross. I don't know. I always thought Ryan Murphy was the type that said, you know, no one's taking a chance on you. I'm going to do it. Like, look, Aaron Spelling, after firing Shannon Doherty in 90210, put her in Charmed. He gave her another chance. Granted, she then got fired from that when Alyssa Milano walked in and said, it's that bitch or me. Shannon's the queen. So, I mean, no shade to the Shannon of the, but like, there is such a thing as like Aaron, like you would think someone like a Riot or somebody would say, look, we're going to fire your ass the minute you get all difficult, or if you do, but let's give you a chance, right? Like, let's give you a chance. She'd be great in American Horror Story.
Basically, what she was implying, Nene was implying in this interview, is that like Francis or Andy called Ryan Murphy and said, don't work with her anymore. I mean, do you, nothing shocks me in our business. Certainly all the executives talk and our friends, but I mean, you know, of course, Bethenny had no follow-up to that. You know, Bethenny had to talk about Bethenny and interrupt a million times and word vomit everywhere.
And talk about, you know, she put this statement out now. I don't know if you saw it. I sent it to you on her Instagram of, I believe she's talking about Nene. She's saying that she's part of the problem, Bethenny, and that she has judged housewives. Like, I think she's basically saying, I read it. This is how I read her she's saying like it's a reckoning and it's toxic and it's the environment, but she's saying I'm part of the problem. Like, shame on me for judging people I've seen on TV. I took this whole statement of hers, which was like 5 pages, which has since been deleted on her Instagram, which I could share if people want, like to say, I judge Nene.
Been deleted?
Yeah.
So wait, she put this statement out that she judged Nene and then she deleted it?
She never mentioned Nene's name. I'm taking it to mean Nene, that she was saying, like, she's saying in response to the conversation I started, I've been reflecting a lot on my career, my words, my actions, and of course, my opinions. I've been thinking about the media and entertainment, its role in provoking skewed opinion towards current events. I just took, it's definitely deleted. I definitely took this as her judging Nene as, you know, difficult and drama. And this is just how I took it. And after sitting with her, she realizes just what a kind, wonderful soul Nene is. That's how I read this whole thing. I sent it to you. I would read it. It's literally like 5 pages of an Instagram story and I can't, but she's basically saying like she judged people. It's like 10 pages. Sorry. So yeah, I'll post it, but that's what, you know, listen, I think, again, I'm not criticizing Nene. I felt just like with Raquel, I felt like this is all for Bethenny. She's showing her sympathy now. You know, if you're not going to join the reckoning, then just get out of the way. If you're not on board for the reality reckoning, she's not going to help you. And, you know, I think it's also interesting that Bethenny's saying she pitched a show that it's called Ebony and Ivory about like going into an RV to like black and white places. I mean, talk about microaggressions and things. I have a problem with
That
this
was
whole
so
concept.
insufferable again. I know. And for Nene to sit there and like, listen to that. Go on.
Yeah, and I really thought there were times where she was saying to Nene things and Nene was like, "What?" And then she wasn't listening to Nene when she was like, "No, that's actually not the case." I mean, it wasn't said that direct. And Bethenny was like, "No, you were going to do this," or like, "Oh, there was something else," where she's like, "No, like they were phasing you out. They were going to give you like 6 episodes." And Nene was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "They were going to make you a friend of," and Nene was like, "They were never going to make me a friend of." And but he's like, "Yeah, they like were. They were going to make you a friend of and still give you a lot of," like, she was trying to compliment her, but Nene was actually saying like, "What you're saying is actually not true." And she didn't hear it. She didn't hear it. She was like, no. In the end, when they were going to give you 6 episodes at a friend, Nene was like, "No, that's not true." And then eventually
was so condescending to her throughout the entire interview. With the first part where Nene explained how her mother was young when she had Nene and her aunt raised her. And then in the and so, you know, how traumatic that was, because when she got to middle school and high school, she really wanted her mother, her biological mother, even though her aunt did a very good job. Then in the next episode, Bethenny goes, "Oh, you know, when you wanted your real parents, when you wanted your real," it's like everything was so backhanded to this woman who is here talking about how she's been discriminated against.
By the way,
the worst fucking human being. And I should have, my friend Jessica Kierson, the comedian who opened for Bethenny's talk show, who said she was the most vile person ever. It was so condescending. I mean, that's where it's like, where is her agent listening to this prior to it going out and going, "Sorry, no, this is like not an empowering platform for this woman." It's like Nene was like a wounded person who Bethenny saw blood and just like started. I have nothing. I don't want to be too negative because somebody tweeted us and was like, "Sarah's so negative." And I love Nene. Nene, I mean, I'm serious. Like,
I'm gonna make an offer. I'll let me make an offer.
Come work with us. I'm like, Nene, I could fucking make you a star. Like,
I'm gonna make an offer that I will do Atlanta recaps every day after the show with Nene Leakes. This is my formal offer.
Dude, you guys would make a fucking fortune. You are a genius behind the scenes that people don't even realize. And I thought the same thing. Nene, let me help you. You are a star. You are the next one.
We're going to put it on Patreon only and we'll split everything, Nene.
Exactly.
And by the way, you don't have to do anything. I mean, I think I should get a little more because I'm going to have to fucking sit here and edit it and shit. But she can have half. Just show up, Nene, and we'll do a recap every day after Atlanta when it's on. It'll be. I really enjoy her in these interviews.
Amazing.
I really enjoy her. I find her very authentic.
Me too.